watch crazy, and today we're going to take a look at this, The Last Laugh by Mr. Jones Watches. But before we get started, please ensure to like, share, subscribe and hit that bell icon if you'd like to see more great videos like this one. I must start off by thanking Mr. Jones Watches for not just sending me this intriguing timepiece to review, but also for giving my audience a 20% discount on any of their watches for 1 week only from this video's upload date. So do be quick if you want to take advantage of this extremely generous offer. The discount code can be found below in the description. So, could Mr. Jones Watches possibly be one of the best affordable micro watch brands in the world? Well, I've worn this watch for a few days now, and to be honest, I absolutely love it. It's a real conversation starter. It's not flash or ostentatious, it's just different. And everywhere I've gone so far, pretty much everyone has asked me about it, with many saying, I bet it was expensive, and when I tell them the price, they then ask where they can pick one up. So it certainly has wrist presence and likability. Let's first take a look at the watch. Right off the bat, the watch definitely looks better in the flesh, though it looks amazing on the website. It looks even better in the hand and on the wrist. I'll attempt to show you on the camera as best as I can as to why. Firstly, the dial on the website makes the eyes, nose and mouth appear to be black, when in fact they are kind of mirrored. I'll try and sort of see if we can look from down here. You can just about see there we go. It's quite difficult in the camera to sort of really get that effect, but it adds so much more depth and life to the dial. It looks almost alive and different in every angle. As you possibly already may be aware from viewing one of my previous videos where this first featured, the teeth tell you the time. The top two, they show you the hours, and the bottom two there, which rotate round the screen or around the display, show you the minutes. With this particular design, the numbers are fairly small, but they're not difficult to read. I've attempted to take an ultra close-up shot of the mouth and teeth, which I will put up on the screen now. And here we can see the details Mr. Jones Watches have gone to in the design. It really is excellent for a watch at this price point, which incidentally is only £195. That's roughly $275 or 230 euros. And that includes shipping to anywhere in the UK, the EU and the US. The case is beautiful. I mean, it's highly polished. It's got some really lovely lines to it. Sorry for any fingerprints you may see on here. And it measures 37mm in diameter. It's they do a larger case actually. They've got a, if you prefer, and they also have a smaller case for ladies and children. Lug to lug is 46mm, and it takes an 18mm strap. The case design is a modern adaptation, in my view, of a vintage IWC dress watch from sort of around the 60s, 50s, late 50s, 60s, that sort of era. And it's got some really lovely cascading lines that don't quite meet in the middle, as there is on both sides. You've got a crown actually on the left, and on the right here. So what we've got here is the logo, and on the opposite side, as I just mentioned, the unsigned crown. I like the fact they've gone with this design, as it looks more balanced when staring down at the watch. And in fact, from every angle that you look, there's so many different sort of subtle twists and turns. So it really isn't boring to look at all. The case back, which is covered in fingerprints, sorry, I'll just give that a quick wipe. The case back is simple, polished and engraved. The watch is water resistant to 50 meters. The movement inside this is, in this particular model that is the ST1721, which is a 20 joule automatic. It's in fact not a standard mass-produced movement anyone can just pick up, but these are made to order from the Tianjin Seagull watch factory. And it's an excellent workhorse movement. Other Mr. Jones watches use either a Chinese or Swiss quartz or automatic movement. The leather strap on this, which you obviously don't want to wear when you go swimming, is amazing quality. It's so beautifully soft, and the first time I put it on my wrist, it fit like a glove. Generally speaking, when you buy or get a new watch strap, they're quite rigid and tough. When they're on the wrist, you sort of need to wear them a little bit for them to, break in a bit. I mean, it's really lovely, and inside is so soft and buttery. The clasp is really lovely, a nice sort of buckle with the logo embossed on there. It's nicely designed. It's got no sharp edges. It sits really comfortably on the strap and wrist. And it comes in a pretty simple but sturdy and nicely presented box. This is the outside shield or part of the box, and then we've got a pretty nice sort of organic looking, sort of in the respect of it just being natural, box, which the back of the watch you would see through this little hole here originally. And it feels kind of like when you pick this up and open it, I don't know if you've ever bought a nice luxury box of chocolates, but it feels like you're just about to open a lovely box of this fantastic chocolate, and it just brings more excitement and enjoyment to the whole process. I mean, obviously it's not a sort of massive expense they've put into the box, which I much prefer in this at this price point, because it makes me feel that there's more being spent on the actual watch itself. Now, from the perspective of Mr. Jones watches possibly being one of the best affordable micro brands in the world, how many watch brands, never mind what micro watch brands, do you know of that commission to contemporary artists to come up with a design which a team then has to figure out the logistics of to turn into a cool looking, functioning watch? On top of that, the dials, engraving and assembly is all done in-house in their studio in London, not in a factory or on a factory line in China. The only other watches I know of that cram so much in are pretty much expensive, such as the Corum Big Bubble range. They're around or over £5,000. You've got this Constantine Chaikin Joker in stainless steel for nearly £15,000, and this Patek Philippe Calatrava handcraft for over £95,000. Okay, yes, of course, these are higher horology, but the point I'm trying to make here is there are no other brands, to my knowledge, offering this level and this type of artisan watch at these prices. They're cheap. They're cheaper than most Casios and Seikos. And another thing I love about this micro brand, unlike so many others, is that everyone is accountable. You can literally meet Mr. Jones's wonderful team, and the most important member of the team, of course, Stanley. Isn't he cute? As well as meeting all of the artists. And to top it all, you can physically go into their studio under the Oxo Tower in London. So to conclude, are Mr. Jones watches one of the best affordable micro brands in the world? Well, in short, yes. They're not trying to be another dive watch, chronograph or homage. They are therefore pretty much in a category and league of their own. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more reviews like this one, then please ensure to like, share, subscribe and hit the bell icon. Thank you.